Everyone, I'm getting some reports of some issues with file handling inside of Replit. I just want to show you what might happen. Python, you might see this often where they start with the file name it's called SN. It's called a stream number, which is kind of like creating a highway or a pathway directly to the file. So I'm just going to say that this is going to be SN. I'm going to open the file that I want. Open. I'll call my data file data, and I want to open it to write, W-R-I-T-E, and I'm just going to take that connection that I have called SN, and I'm going to write to it the words hello, and then I need to close my file. I run it, and I run it again, and I run it again, and I run it again. It's not working. And that's because this is in single file mode. So under our student projects here, by default, files are not activated. So I simply need to click up here and say add new file, or add new file. And this now moves this project, this particular question, into project mode, which will allow multiple files. And now if I run my program, instantly the data file is created. There it is. But when I run it again, and I'm going to change this word now to hi. When I run it again, I come back. Run again, I come back. It's not working. It still says hello. If I come and I say A for append, let's see what happens. It's not appending the file. So this is confirming what some people have been telling me. So I know last year there were the files in Replit experienced some difficulties from time to time. So this is, I would say it's a known intermittent issue. So the way around that is to simply come over here to My Replits. So if we click on My Replits, this is a location where you store your own individual files. I don't have access to. And you come down to the plus sign. First time you do it, you'll need to search. These extra icons won't be there, but then it remembers the last replit that I created. So you can code in Java, C++, whatever you want. So you're going to search for the Python 3. So it's just created a new program. I can give it a name. It gives, you can see I clearly don't give a lot of names because all those names were crazy stuff like this, but I'll give it a default name, sample. Sample file, right? I can put a description if I want. And there's my name now. But notice here, now the files are already open. So in the My Replit section, files are already enabled by default. And if I come in and I now take that same code, SN, should have copied it. SN will be the connection to open data.txt, and I'll write to it. Now I'll write hello, and then I'll close, and now I'll run it. Hello is there. This is the same thing that happened before, but now when I hit hi, oops, and now when I run it, and I come back to data, we get hi is there. So it's working as expected. Maybe a little bit annoying, maybe not what you wanted, because what happens with the write portion, it writes completely over the file. It writes over the data that was there. So if I wanted to keep what was previously there, I'm just going to run it again, see that it's just hi that's there. I can change that to an append. And now when I run it, I'll get hi, hi. And I run it again, I'll get hi, hi, hi. You can imagine when we go to read this information, it's going to be difficult for us to determine what is what word, what is one discrete piece of data. So typically what we want to do is after we write something, we add a carriage return. You could put it right inside of the file like that, but because this information that we're writing to the data file maybe is often contained inside of a variable, I tend to add it as a separate item at the end. Now, I'm going to erase my data that was there. Now, when I run it, I get hi. I run it again. I'll run it 3 times, 4 times. I'm now going to get a series of lines. It's going to make it a lot easier for us to distinguish between one set of data and another. So what this allows you to do is to work here inside of the My Replits portion. You can then copy your code and then come back and paste it into the project to submit. The other great thing about this is that we have revision history. And so I forgot maybe how it's done somewhere. I think maybe if I auto format, let's just go back to My Replits. It might be at that version there. Sample, right? If I click in here, history. So my code looked like this at 8:57. I was like, that's the data file, change file. So currently, I'm looking at the data. I want to look at the main file, and my code looked like that to begin with, and it sees I've added the append here. I've added this the /n return. So you can actually, if you're coding here, it's a great thing because if you've made mistakes, you know, it was working yesterday, but then you've done something today and it doesn't work, you can go back to yesterday's code. So actually working inside of My Replits is a great thing to do anyways. All right, I hope this will help solve the issues people are having.